Good morning. This is Two Wolves. It is the Monday, 27 August, about noon Mountain Standard Time. This is a update on mainly focused on the three enormous fires that are still ravaging the Idaho wilderness. They're devouring the wilderness. They're hungry fires. Trinity Ridge, Halstead, and the Mustang complex, which has now jumped the Montana state line and is burning in Montana. That has not happened often historically. We'll start right here because one of our Gamley was kind enough to forward a friend's pictures. I won't say who it is. I don't know if he wanted me to use his name, but there's not many of us in Idaho. Thank you to him and to his friend, a backcountry person in Stanley, who forwarded some photos of the Halstead fire. This person lives off the land. You can see this is looking northwest, basically up toward the Halstead. Outside Stanley, this guy has got a fish wheel and a fish screen. Very positive attitude. I thank him for sharing his pictures. He's just observing with interest and hope. Here's the town of downtown Stanley, and this is earlier on in the fire, actually. Part of the plume of the Halstead. Quite dramatic. And these are not even the most dramatic I've seen, but I'm very grateful for them. And you can see that looks as though it's right on Stanley's doorstep. Now, I'm just going to say right here the most important things to know about the Halstead. One, it is not burning in Stanley. You can still get up Highway 75 into Stanley and enjoy a lot of the beauty of the country, which does remain untouched. Some of the river rafting, only with professional guides, is still going on in parts of the Salmon River. And there are areas of the Sawtooth where you can still get into the backcountry and enjoy it. Stanley officials want people to know, this was on the radio interview on Catch Radio today, that their greatest concern right now in some ways is that they're losing revenue because people have stopped coming up. You can go to Stanley and Galena, enjoy the area, but I will add the proviso, be very cautious about going into the backcountry. Okay, great. Right now, point two, their firefighters' greatest concern is that the fire is very close to power lines, and if the power goes out, it could be out for weeks in this mountain community region. Also, it may move south it's kind of heading south into a drainage that might end up threatening Lower Stanley. So, very, very serious Halstead fire concerns. Next, we'll go look at the most important issue having to do with Trinity Ridge, which is just continuing to explode and grow. Although firefighters have successfully set back fires and thus far have been able to protect Featherville. So, okay, this picture, let me quickly attribute www.kboi2.com news. I'll be very careful. Thank you, KBOI. I don't want to step on your toes. Rolling log injures firefighters battling Trinity Ridge fire by Keith Ridler. Thank you, Keith. I just wanted you to know that 3 members of the Bonneville Hotshots have been injured. But they will probably be okay. Firefighters this week set a prescribed burn around Featherville. That's how you set a prescribed burn. It's a good picture. To protect the small mountainous town. Photo courtesy of Kari Greer via the National Forest Service. Kari Greer being an NFS employee and photographer. Very good picture. There are more photos. I won't step on her toes, but you can come here and look. This Boise, Idaho, 187 square mile wildfire threatening an evacuated central Idaho community. Made no significant run Saturday, but 3 firefighters were injured when a large log rolled down a steep embankment into a crew battling the blaze. Fire officials said 2 of the firefighters, and these are the Bonneville Hotshots that I mentioned earlier. I saw them coming through town. 2 of the firefighters were transported to Boise for medical treatment. 1 suffered a minor head injury, and the other had injuries to back, neck, and shoulders. So thank God that now the federal government is now providing medical coverage for firefighters, eh? All 3 are members of the Bonneville Hotshots, fire officials said. They're among more than 1,200 firefighters assigned to the Trinity Ridge fire. A burnout maneuver has so far been successful in reducing fuels between the blaze and the small town of Featherville, but the fire is very close to Featherville. Okay. Also, they're concerned right now that the fire could move up toward Idaho City and related small communities, although they don't think that it will reach those towns. But it's all just a turkey shoot right now. Nobody knows. A mile-long line of the burnout merged with the main fire sometime Saturday morning or Friday night, a quarter mile from the community of Featherville. They had to wait for the fire to get close enough to the town so the big fire would be sucking oxygen to burn and would pull our backburn operation to it, Lanehausen said. Okay, this is a good article. Go here, read that. That's how that's done. Continue your prayers, please. Next thing. activefiremaps.fs.fed.us, one of many places you can go to watch what's happening with these horrific fires. The reason we came here is because the Mustang complex, which is now more than 5 fires, has now jumped the Montana border. That has not happened a lot historically. It's jumped the Montana line and is burning in Montana as well. There's lots of other fires. This porcupine complex, some other fires up here, Northern Idaho, are also a concern. But this is a good map. I wanted you to get a sense of where these are. This is Salmon, Idaho. Another beautiful area, separate from the Sawtooth, the Salmon River. This shows you how big the affected area is. Here's the Montana line. It's Montana. Let's jump the Montana line. That news came out last night. Here's the Halstead area. This is Boise. If you want to orient yourself, Idaho line. This is Ontario, Oregon. Boise, Caldwell, Nampa. Here's Trinity Ridge. So this is where Trinity Ridge is in relationship to Boise. Burning in the Boise National Forest. This is a Horseshoe Bend, if you're familiar with that. This is Emmett. Another one of our members is there. So Trinity Ridge, Halstead, Mustang. Let's go over to InsaWeb. Oh boy, 8:27 a.m. Trinity Ridge. Now remember again, Trinity Ridge, Boise National Forest. The fire has moved to 1.5 miles west of West Warrior Peak. Crews are completing a hard line along the ridge near Black Rock Campground. Black Rock Campground, West Warrior Peak. Firefighters are at Swanholm Lookout. Important to note these if you know anyone who lives in Idaho, or you do. And the Hermata Mine area. Now you can see how the fire's developed. You can also go here and switch to terrain or hybrid. All very mountainous, all very steep. So, and remember, InsaWeb has fantastic pictures, and InsaWeb and NIFC have also got video. So go to those. The fire has moved. Okay, let's see. In the southeast, crews will build dozer and hand line between Wagontown and Green Creeks to establish a line from Pine Featherville Road up the ridge between the creeks. The area between Featherville and Rocky Bar continues to burn the available fuel. This is increasing the protection of Featherville. So burning out available fuel, burnout, backburn. Okay. On the western flank, firefighters plan to take advantage of natural features. Closure information. Evacuation order continues from Featherville to Paradise due to thick smoke and reduced visibility. Sheriff may allow some people with critical need to reaccess their properties for a short period of time each day on a case-by-case basis, but they must call this number, to see if access is granted. It's very dangerous. Evacuations. It's really 2 miles northwest of Featherville. More spotting, short runs, and a little quick overlook. Here's planned actions. Growth potential is still extreme for the Trinity Ridge fire. Okay, so we'll look at that. And if you'll bear with me for a moment, we'll try to go over to Halstead and And don't forget that there are fires burning elsewhere. The Springs fire is also a concern. It's an ongoing concern. That's near Boise. That's a concern. There's fires burning up north. Halstead. Oh, I wonder if they're going to let me. Under a suppression strategy, they're hauling timber and clearing. Bench, copper, and new. There's another fire in the area. Halstead's creeping towards a marsh creek. Fire hasn't reached Lightning Creek, but is moving that direction. There's some rocky area, which is slowing the fire in some areas. There's also spot fires. Dozers are working. Helicopter drops. And this is now 103,000 acres. It's more than that now. It's continuing to spread to the southeast, firmly established in Kelly Creek, Noho Creek, Basin Creek, and west of Yankee Creek. Firefighters hope to conduct burnouts. And this is very important. Watch this. Now, I said you can go to Stanley. You can right now, but you don't set your plans in concrete if you're coming from a long ways away. And be very careful. They are conducting burnout operations in Kelly and Stanley Creeks along with direct dozer line above Stanley Creek, all in an effort to slow the fire spread towards Highway 75. If that happens, we've got serious problems. Protecting the area near Cape Horn, which is a substantial residential area, to protect the power line, private land structures, and timber, because that's an important resource. Growth potential extreme, terrain extreme. Let's look at Mustang before I run out of time. But please come and look, because there's also fires burning elsewhere in Idaho, which are of grave concern. Mustang. Incident updated 39 minutes ago. Just got time to get an overview. Oh my gosh, this is horrible. Now look, and this is where she's moved over toward Montana. That's in Montana now. This fire, Mustang complex, 136,895 acres, almost 140,000 acres, 12% contained, but that's, God bless them, they're working so hard. Limited surveillance due to smoke conditions. North side of fire was single and group tree torching, short crown runs in alignment. Remember, there's evacuations associated with the Mustang fire. Increased rates of spread due to thunderstorms and outflow winds. It crossed Forest Service 38 Road and spread into Montana near Blue Nose Lookout. Blue Nose Lookout. The Mustang fire is approaching Gatton Ranch and structure protection is in place. Red flag fire weather warning issued for dry thunderstorms and 40 to 50 mile an hour outflow winds. Structure assessment and preparation in the North Fork and Gibbonsville areas. Growth potential high, terrain difficulty extreme. This is the most important thing. It's now burning in Montana. Okay, so this is, remember to look at pictures here. You can go to Sawtooth Camera. I'll put their link up for pictures. Catch, Nipsey, Steep Corner, Springs Fire. I would like to do something about Northern Idaho, but I just don't have enough time right now. These are not too bad, thank God. They aren't growing too much, but I think that it might be important to look at the springs before I close. So we'll just look at that. Springs Fire, and there is a community meeting regarding this coming up, and that's why I wanted to say something about it. Well, it's contained, but it's still causing problems. Okay, we won't worry about it too much. This is Two Wolves. Remember that you can view what's going on here. Here's a ranch home surrounded by green and black, you see, but look, however, they've got defensive perimeter. This is what you do. You plow a defensive perimeter. Okay. Anyway, Goat ditch fires. This is northern Idaho in Nez Perce country. But thankfully, these have not become too serious. As